Hello friends, welcome back to Tech Wizard. Today we are going to discuss about the for loop. Okay, so before we begin with the for loop, if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe to it. Let's start with the for loop. So this for loop is used for iterating the number of statements. Used for iteration. Okay, if you want to execute a particular statement number of times, then using a for loop, you can execute it several number of times. And mainly it is used if you know use if the number of iteration is fixed. Okay. If you know that I want to execute that particular statement 5 times, okay, or 10 times, or any number is fixed, then this will be one of the useful loop. Let's see syntax of for loop. So for that, for, then you need to initialize variable. Okay, in the first part you need to initialize the variable, then semicolon, then you need to write down the condition. Second is condition. Here you are going to check some condition, and based on the condition, if the condition is true, some statements are going to be executed. And third part is called increment decrement. Okay, so here the value of a variable is going to increase or decrease. Now here in the block you can write down the code which is going to be execute number of times. Okay, so let's discuss the first part, that is the initialization. Okay, so in initialization, what you are going to do, you are going to assign some values to the variable. I can assign, for example, I is equal to 0. Okay, so that is called initialization. Then second one is a condition. Okay, so here you are going to test some condition. Okay, and if the condition is true, if true, then execute code. Okay, then block of code is going to be executed. And the third one is the update, that is this increment and decrement, which is a third part of the for loop, that is called update. What is going to be update? It updates the value of a variable. Okay, so let's see how it works. So whenever it your code reaches to the, when the execution reaches to the for loop, it first initialize some condition. It first initialize some variable, then it checks whether the condition is true or not. If the condition is true, then it directly jumps to execution of that code. And once the code is going to be executed, then third part is going to be executed, that is the increment or decrement of value. Okay, once it has been incremented or decremented, then again it checks the condition. If the condition is true, this code is going to be executed. Again, after the execution of this code, increment decrement is going to execute, and then again it check the condition. This will be continue until the condition is false. Okay, so this is the use of the for loop and syntax of the for loop. Now let's see some example. Let's say we are having class for example. In the main method, here we are going to write one for loop where we are going to first initialize the variable. So we are having the variable I and we are initializing to it 1. Second part, we need to test the condition. So here we are checking that I less than is equal to 10 or not. And then we are going to update the value of the variables, that is I plus plus. And if the condition is true, here we are going to print value of I. So system dot out dot println value of I. So print I. Let's save this program with for example. Okay, and now let's compile this and execute. So here you can see that we have initialized the value of I, that is equal to 1, and the loop will be continue up to 10. So it prints 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so how the execution will start? When it reaches to the for loop, it first initialize this variable. Once initialization has been done, it check this condition. Okay, so we are having the I equal to 1. So this condition is true, that is I less than equal to 10. So if the condition is true, then this statement is going to be executed. So it print 1. Now it jumps to the third part of the for loop, that is it increment the value of I. So now I will become 2, and then it again check the condition. So 2 is less than equal to 10, yes. So again print the value of I. Once this statement is going to be executed, again it comes over here and increment the value of I. So now I becomes 3, and again check the condition. So 3 less than equal to 3, yes, then print the value of I. These things will be continue until the condition is true. Okay, so this is the one of the example how we can able to use the for loop. Okay, now let's say let's do some change. Let's make a program in which we are going to add the value of 1 to 10. Okay, we are going to do like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 and so on. Okay, so for that what we need to do over here, let's initialize one variable. Let's say sum equal to 0. Okay, and here we are going to check that for integer I is equal to 1, I less than equal to 10, and I plus plus, that is all will be same. Here inside the for loop, if the condition is true, what we are going to do, sum equal to sum plus I. Okay, and this system.out.println we are going to write down outside the for loop. Okay, so we just want to print the final result. So let's print sum is sum. Okay, so what this program will do, first initialize the sum equal to 0, then initialize the I equal to 1. Now we are checking that I is less than equal to 10. Yes, it is less than equal to 10. So condition is true. Jump to the block of the for loop. Here we are adding sum to I. Okay, so what is the value of sum? Initially the value of sum is 0. Okay, and what is the value of I? It is 1. So 0 plus 1 will be assigned to sum. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So now the value of sum is 1. Okay, now once the statement is going to be executed, it increments the value of I. So now I become 2, and it check the condition. I is less than equal to 10. Yes, now the value of I is 2. So 2 is less than equal to 10. Again execute this statement, but this time value of sum is 1 plus value of I is 2. Okay, the addition of this we are going to assign to the sum. So now the sum will become 3, right? Next time again it update the value of I. So now I become 3. 3 is less than equal to 10. Yes. So it execute this statement. So now the value of sum is 3. So we are going to add sum plus I. So 3 plus 3. So that is equal to 6. So now the value of sum is 6. This will be continue until the condition is true. And once the condition is false, it will jump out of the for loop and print the result. Okay, so let's compile this and see what is the answer. So here you can see that sum is 55. That is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 and so on. Okay, so it will give you 55. Okay, we can also over here execute infinite loop. Okay, so for executing infinite loop, what we need to do, let's write down one statement over here, system.out.println, and let's print some message over here. Let's say hello. We are going to print this hello message infinite time. So to do so, you just need to mention like this. You just need to mention semicolon, nothing else. Okay, let's save this, compile this and execute. Here you can see that it goes into the infinite loop. Okay, so this is how you can utilize for loop. Now I hope that you got this, and if you are understanding that, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe the channel. Now we will discuss about one variation of for which is available in the Java, that is for each. Okay, so let's see first when to use for each. So it is basically used to traverse through an array. Okay, as we know that array is having a number of elements. To traverse to that elements, you can use for each. And here we do not need to increment the value. Okay, like in the previous one for loop which we have seen, we are writing one thing I plus plus. So we do not need to write down that I plus plus over here. It will automatically increment to the next value. Okay, let's see the syntax of for each. So for that you need to write down the data type, sorry, for, then you need to write down the data type, then variable name, colon, and then you need to mention array name. Okay, and then in the block you need to write down the code which is going to be executed. Okay, so here you need to mention some data type, and here you need to provide some variable name, and here you need to provide some array name. Okay, so let's discuss with some examples so you will get more clear idea how to use for each. Okay, so let's say class for example 2, public static void main. Now let's say we are having one integer array and we are initializing to that 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, these are the our elements. Now, as we have seen above, it is used for the traversing through the array. Okay, so how we can write down the for each over here? So we need to write down for. Then what we need to write down? We need to write down the data type. Okay, so the data type of the above array is integer. So here we need to declare a variable of type integer. Let's say integer I. Then colon and then name of the array. That's it. Okay, and here we are going to write down system.out.println and we are going to print the value of I. Okay, so let me explain you how it works. Okay, so first it will create this I variable of type integer and this array we have already created. So now what it will do, it will take the first element from this array and it will copy this to the variable I. Okay, and then it execute this block of code. So it print the value of I, that is 10. Then it automatically increment the value to the next element, that is 11. So now it copies second element, that is the 11, to I and then print the value of I. So this time it print 11. Then it again increment the value to the next element. So now it is 12. So this 12 is going to copy into the variable I. Now it print 12 over here. Then it increment to 13. So that 13 will be copied to the integer I. And it print 13. Then it print 14. Then it will print 15. Now when it reach the end, it will exit from this for loop. Okay, so let's see. Let's first save this program. Compile this. What is the problem? String. Okay, save this, compile this and execute this. So you can see it printing 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Okay, now let's see. Here we have taken the integer array. Now let's take the string array and let's see whether it is working with it properly or not. So let's take one string array with the same name and let's assign here, let's say Ram, Sita, then Lakshman and Hanuman. Okay, and here now as our array is of type string, we need to take over here string variable. So let's say string variable I. Okay, so now what it will do, the first element of array contains the value Ram. So that Ram will be copied into the I and that value of I is going to be print. So first it will print Ram. Then value is automatically going to increment. So the next value is Sita. So Sita will be copied to I and then we are going to print the I. So next time Sita is going to be displayed. Then it jumps to the Lakshman. Lakshman will be copied to I and it is going to be displayed. Okay, let's save this, compile this. Let's see what is the problem over here again. Here we need to complete the curly brackets. Okay, so let's compile this and execute this. So you can see over here it display Ram, Sita, Lakshman and Hanuman. Okay, Now, similar thing, the same functionality we can also achieve using a simple for loop. Okay, but for that, let me write down for the same functionality how we can able to write down the for loop. Okay, so let me put this for each into the comment, and let me write down for loop for the same functionality. So let's say integer I equal to 0, I less than array, that is the string variable, dot length, and finally I plus plus. Okay, and here we are going to print the value. So just copy this statement over here. Okay, so we can able to achieve same functionality, but over here when we are printing we need to write down array of I. Okay, so this will perform the similar functionality as above. Let's save this, compile this and execute. You can see it also prints the Ram, Sita, Lakshman and Hanuman. Okay, so I hope that now you are clear with how to use the for loop and for each. Okay, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and do not forget to press the bell icon, so whenever I'm going to upload a new video you will get the notification. And also share with your friends so they will also get the benefit of the same. Thank you so much for watching this video.